I'm Kayla. Hi. I am a mum of one. My daughter is 2.5 now, and I'm also an early years childminder. My channel is all about toddlers. I like to share play ideas. I like to share playroom ideas, anything to do with Montessori, Waldorf, respectful parenting. I love those kind of approaches, so I talk about that kind of stuff quite a lot. So today I'm going to do a kind of book recommendations video for toddlers. I say recommendations, not really. I'm just going to be sharing my daughter's favourite. Here she is. Hello. Hi. I'm going to be sharing my daughter's favourite books at the moment. So I'm going to be sharing my daughter's favourite books with you. We've got some really awesome classics from some really old ones that we found at charity shops, which have become like gold in this house. Yeah, so anyway, I'm going to share with you our favourite books to give you some ideas, and there's some real gems in there, some of my absolute favourite books for reading. So obviously it's really important as a parent, because we're going to be the ones reading the book, that we enjoy it as well. So none of the books I'm going to recommend are like annoying rubbish stories that as a parent we're going to be like, so yeah, hopefully you enjoy them too. So this is a Lift the Flap book by Julia Donaldson and Axel Scheffler. Obviously they're really famous illustrators and authors who made the Gruffalo and so many of our other favourite books as well, like The Snail and the Whale and The Gruffalo's Child and Zog. Yeah, so she absolutely loves these books. But yeah, this is a slightly different one, because these are Lift the Flap books and these are board books as well. So these would be really good for babies as well as toddlers. We've had these since she was quite small. So yeah, really simple story. So this one is a rabbit who's trying to sleep and she keeps getting woken up by all her friends and things, so they can lift the flap and see who's there. And it's good for toddlers because it's a rhyming book. So now she's read it so much, she's got to the stage where she doesn't read yet, but she's got to the stage where she knows what's coming next because of the rhyming theme. So I'll say, rabbits in her deck chair, a doze would be so good. Whack, crack, who's that? And then she'll say, it's Fox, he's chopping wood. So she just recognises the rhyming and the theme of it, which is kind of like the start of reading, I guess. But yeah, she absolutely loves this one. And then this is another book. I think they come in a set of 3. We have got the third one. I can't remember what it is now. I can't remember what the other one is. Oh yeah, Postman. Oh no, we've got Hide and Seek Pig, this one. Okay. Yeah, so this is quite cool. It's the same kind of thing. It's a rhyming book and a board book, and then it's got the flaps. He's basically trying to find his socks, and you go through all these different places to try and find them. He keeps finding other clothes, but his socks he just can't find. So yeah, it's a really nice story, and these are really good quality. So my daughter's really into the Mog books as well. We got this one first. I think this came from like a charity shop or something. So it's a really old book, but it's about Mog, and he's got this, Mog is the cat, and then he's got this little bunny as a gift, and he just carries the bunny everywhere. And then they have a picnic, and then there's a thunderstorm, and poor bunny gets kind of stuck in the garden, and Mog stays out there to try and, there she is, so she gets stuck under this fork, and then the children have to go and rescue her. It's a really sweet little story. And then this one we got before Christmas, and this is just Mog at Christmas, and she gets a bit freaked out because Christmas is very different to other days and there's lots going on and people aren't there to play with her, and she gets a bit scared and frightened of all the new things like the tree. She ends up on the roof and everybody's super sad because she won't come down. But yeah, it has a really nice ending. So there's loads of different Mog books, I think. Like, we've only got 2, but I would like to get more because she really enjoys them. Yeah, so there's all these ones here. by the same author. And the same author does the Tiger Came to Tea as well, which I'm also going to recommend. So this is When Betsy Came to Babysit. It's quite a short story, and it's quite fun. It's basically about Betsy, who comes to babysit these two children, and she says that she doesn't really know anything about babysitting, but I think she's trying to be quite fun. So then they basically say all these things that they do when they have a babysitter, which is obviously really cheeky, naughty things, and they're just trying to basically trick her into doing all this fun stuff with them. And then at the end, she's a very smart little babysitter. She says what she will do when she babysits. So she'll use up all their felt tips, she'll eat all their chocolates, and she'll be so full that no one can sit on her lap for a cuddle. And then they all decide together that they'll do something new, which is a really nice little ending. She absolutely loves this. She keeps coming back to it all the time, and I like it because it's short. So when you're reading about 7 or 8 books kind of all one after another, you don't really want them to be like super long books. This is one that she got from her auntie as a gift, and it's super sweet. So it's about these bears, and it's a rhyming book, but the words are so sweet and heartfelt. So when sunlight fades and shadows fall, come walk a while with me. We'll catch the stars at the sky as stars appear and count each one we see. So it's about the bears. They go through the land together, and they're spotting all the stars. So then there's one star, and then they see another star, and the whole time the mother is kind of telling the little one how much she loves him. It's just super sweet. So then at the end, he says, too many stars to count, you say, and give a little yawn. It's time for bed, so home we go to rest until the dawn. I love a rhyming book. So easy to read, aren't they? Yeah, at the end it says, let's snuggle down and listen to the wind's soft lullaby. I'll kiss your cheek and say goodnight beneath our starry sky. Remember this, my precious one, you shine so very bright. I love you more than all the stars that sparkle through the night. It's super sweet. I love it. Especially if you're a mummy reading to a little one. It just makes you want to cry. Because we love them so much and we just want to squeeze them and tell them all the time. So we've got quite a lot of moon books, because there was a time when my little one was really into the moon, and I kind of took advantage of that, and we got some resources and books to kind of extend the interest and the learning. So this is a really sweet one. This comes in a set of 3, I think. So there's a moon one, there's a tree one, and there's a bee one. And it basically teaches you about the moon and how the animals see it from kind of their point of view, and how it's kind of all over the world. So yeah, this again is a rhyming book. It's quite dark, the illustrations. Some pages are really dark and you can't really see them very well. So it's not the best as a nighttime book if you've got kind of night lighting going on. But yeah, it's a really nice book, and I like it's got the moon, and it gets bigger as kind of as the pages turn, and then it's obviously really big, and then yeah, it's a really nice book. And the bee and the tree one, they're really educational, and they teach all about those particular kind of subjects. This one's called Chapati Moon, on kind of introducing Mia to different cultures and lots of diversity. So I kind of wanted books that had different cultures and different things in them for her to learn about. She actually loves this book so much now. We make chapatis all the time as well. After she started showing an interest in this book, I said, should we go and make some chapatis, and we'll make kind of curry and stuff, and we did all that together. So it's kind of like a little thing that we do together now. So if your little one's into cooking, or you kind of want to get them into cooking, chapatis are super easy. They're like the easiest bread to make ever, because they require no proving, no yeast. You just kind of like mix it up, and roll it out and stick it in a pan, and you can literally eat it straight away. So I definitely recommend making chapatis with your little one. And then yeah, it was super cute. We made our chapatis and we sat down and watched a film together, and we just ate this whole plate of chapatis while snuggled up on the sofa. It was really nice. So anyway, this book is about a lady called Mrs. Kapoor. She gets hungry and she starts cooking, and she chops all these different vegetables, and there's so much language in this book, which I love. So there's chopping, and then there's cutting and podding peas, and scoop yogurt, and pounded spices. There's lots of language that you wouldn't usually get in other books. And then it tells you how she cooks it. So she sizzles and stirs and simmers and sprinkles, and all these different beautiful things that she's making, creaming and bubbling and smelling. So basically she starts making chapatis, and the chapati starts rolling out the door, and it's all about her trying to follow it, and all these people kind of helping along to try and get the chapati. But it's really sweet at the end, because the chapati actually rises into the sky, and that's why they call it a Chapati Moon. So it stays up there, and then she feeds everyone all her beautiful feast of food that she made, and they all sit and have this beautiful feast together, and then they all fall asleep. But then Mrs. Kapoor's still hungry, but then her moon comes down and she starts eating the moon, and then she's really happy and she just basically falls asleep. So yeah, it's a really nice story. It's kind of not the easiest to read. It's a little bit difficult. It takes it because there's so many different words in there and descriptions and adjectives, so it takes a few times. But yes, at first Mia wasn't interested in it, but then she started showing an interest in the moon, and now she loves it. And obviously we have that little tradition now where we make chapatis together, which obviously came from this book, so I absolutely love that. So this book is really special to me because of that tradition that we have. So this is one of her absolute favourite books. We literally read this every night. She knows all the words to it because we've read it so much. This is about families, so all different types of families. So every page has each one of these families in. It's just basically a rhyming book, a beautiful rhyming book about families and how they all look after each other and care for each other, and the things that we go through as a family. So it follows all these families along day to day, and what they're doing, and the way that everybody's so different. Some people travel by car, some people travel by bike when they go to places, some people have their own little camper van, some people have a walk through the park, and then all the things that kind of go wrong and how we look after each other, you know. So this little boy's not very well, and then we've got the father here that's not well, and the little girl's made him some soup, and just all take care of each other. It's really lovely. And then these are little days out, so they're at the cinema, playing football in the park, having a picnic, flying a kite, going to the zoo. So all different things. So I'll read you a bit. If something awful happens, it happens to us all. A fire, a flood, an illness, disappointment or a fall. We'll cope with it together, a family as one, until the clouds have lifted and we can see the sun. So yeah, it's super cute. I really love this book, and she loves it too. So at the end, all the children are asleep, and she really enjoys pointing out the different things in their bedroom. So I'll say, oh, where are the dinosaurs? And then she'll find the dinosaurs, and where is the teacup? And there's a tiny little teacup under the bed here. And I'll say, can you find the dog asleep? And there's a little dog here sleeping. So yeah, she loves doing that every night. So the last ones are these books, Little People, Big Dreams. You might have seen these. They're basically short kind of life stories of these really amazing people. So we've got the science ones, the women in science. We've got Marie Curie, Ada Lovelace, and then Amelia Earhart. They're all different illustrations because they're illustrated by different people depending on the one that you buy. And I'll show you Marie Curie, which is a really awesome lady. So yeah, they're really sweet illustrations if you see. So it just tells you a little bit about her life, and they're really inspiring, and they're just the kind of things that we want to be teaching our children, really, the kind of people that they could be, you know, if they work hard and they believe in themselves. So yeah, it's a little short story about Marie, and then right at the end, it's got her actual story here and some real pictures, which I think is really great because you get to know what she actually looked like and that kind of thing. So yeah, and then at the back you'll see there are literally loads of these books that you can buy. All these different amazing women. Obviously not just women. We've got Stephen Hawking as well. But these, yeah, the women ones she loves the most, which I'm kind of happy about. Stickman is our absolute favourite. It's such a sweet story. I love reading it. So it's basically about this man who's a stick, and he's got a stick family, and they live in this family tree. Obviously it's not strictly Montessori, because in the Montessori approach it's more about kind of real life, realistic kind of stories and representations. And obviously we know that there's no stick man, or there may be, we just don't know. But yes, as far as we know, there's no stick man. It would be cool if there was. But yeah, it's just a lovely story. So I mean, I do obviously follow Montessori, and I totally get that kind of realistic approach and teaching them more about real life than mythical type things and fiction. So I totally understand that. But yeah, we are a little bit flexible with that because there are some just wonderful books out there like this one, and I'm so glad that I introduced her to it because she just enjoys it so much. So yeah, Stickman basically goes for a jog, and then he gets warned by all the other animals to be careful because people keep kind of using him as sticks and different things, and they don't realise that he's a man. So first of all, the dog uses him as a stick and to throw and fetch and drop, and then he finally gets free, and then this little girl comes along and she wants to use him as a poo stick. So nobody knows that he's a real life stick man. They just think that he's a stick, and they just keep throwing him about, and it's really sad. And then he gets free, but then the swan gets him, and she tries to weave him into her nest because she thinks he's a really good stick. And then he gets knocked in the sea, and he gets washed up on this beach. And then this man uses him as a mast for the top of their castle. So it's just all about how he just keeps getting used as sticks by people, and he's just like getting further and further away from home, and he just hates it basically. So they use him as a pen, as a bow, as a bat, as a boomerang. But it's also a rhyming book, but I love the way that it reads. And then it's quite sad at the end because he's so tired, and he's just been used and moved around and thrown about and battered and bruised, and then he's kind of lost in the snow, and then he gets picked up and put in a fire, oh my gosh, by this little girl, and it's like, is he gonna be burnt alive, or what's gonna happen? Obviously it's not scary, like, don't be worried about that. But then yeah, in the end he gets saved by Santa, and Santa takes him home in his sleigh. But yeah, I would totally recommend this. It's so good. I absolutely love it. I'm literally in love with this book. So that's it. Those are my daughter's absolute favourite books at the moment. There's actually so many more. It was really hard just to narrow it down, and I had like a pile of about maybe 30, and I was like, I can't do a book recommendation on all of these because it'll be the longest video ever, and nobody will ever watch it because it will just be so long and annoying. So I had to narrow it down. But yeah, I might do another video maybe in the next month or so with another kind of book recommendation. I do look at a lot of the book review kind of book recommendation videos. It's always nice to have new books and new ideas, new authors and illustrators that you might not come across. I always find really awesome recommendations on YouTube. So yeah, hopefully that's been helpful anyway, and you'll go out and buy some of these great books. Yeah, so thanks so much for watching again. I'll be posting my next video in the next few days. Obviously, to get the most out of my channel, I would recommend subscribing below, and then you'll get an update when I upload a new video. At the moment, because I'm not working, because my childminding practice had to close down because of the coronavirus, I've got a little bit more free time. Obviously, I've got a toddler, so I'm not completely full of time, but have a little bit more free time, so I'm aiming to do videos every couple of days. So yeah, don't miss out. Do subscribe, and thanks again for watching.